Hey, how are ya? I am here recording video number 2, blog number 2, or audio blog, let's call it that. Vlog. I don't know. Whatever we're calling it. It started out as a blog, but we're gonna read it for the people traveling in their cars and running around doing errands that don't have time to sit and read these things, but they have asked me to keep going with my videos. So here I am, keeping going. Sweaty. I just got done with a workout. Maybe I'll add those down the bottom. These two women whose workouts that I follow, that I've been feeling fabulous since January, gained crazy amounts of muscle tone. Still going, by the way. And dropped some fat and some weight, and just my energy has been ridiculously up since all of this. So half a year, many strides in the right direction. Imperfection, yes. So anyway, this blog, I decided it's kind of a confession, but hopefully it relates with people. I just want people to know they're not alone, basically. And I've joked around about it, but I still laugh at it because I have to. Sorry, parched. But yeah, so here I am in all of my non-makeup, hair up glory, just so you can see that I am not trying to be, purdied up. Maybe I will, because I mean, if it's hard to deal with this, then every once in a while I come on here looking a little more put together, and I understand. But I'm in my house with my dog. I don't know, can you see her? She's out like a light. See? Right there. I just poked her butt with my finger. Did you see that? Boop, boop. Nothing. Anyway, that's stupid. Anyway, let's go. So this is called My Secret Debt because for years I've joked with my clients about my secret debt. It's become one of these running jokes. Like I'll tell them, oh, well, I bought this, after I told them that I'm done buying things and I need to pay off my secret credit card, which my husband knows about but doesn't look at it because we both have secretly agreed that would stress him out. So that being said, I will continue. It became one of those running jokes that I got a laugh, I laughed, yes, but it also got a laugh from my clients. Kind of ease the tension of it all. I even had another joke every time I would go and go pay for something that was a little bit expensive. While I was trying to pay off my secret credit card, I of course had another credit card, secret, that I would pay a portion in cash because I saved cash, and then I would pay a portion on my debit card, and then finally, put the rest on the credit card. And so I would use these this formula would be my money laundering. I'm laundering money. So that was the joke. Let me hold on. I'm laundering my money real quick. And people would laugh. And humor has a funny way of softening the things we'd rather not look at. So here I am exposing it all to you. Feel naked. The truth is that my secret debt wasn't really funny. It isn't really funny. I know this. And this is something that is an unlayering, if you will, like one of those big knots of yarn, not a ball of yarn, a knot that it takes forever to pick apart and unravel. So my husband doesn't know exactly what I owe. It's not huge by any means, but it is something, and he's not a long time ago he has learned how to put something on a card, but pay it off as soon as you can, which mine's more of a rolling debt. It just fluctuates a little. But anyway, I just wanted to explain that. So not because he doesn't know exactly what I owe. I already explained this because it's a stress factor. Like, I'm going to get this, but I will pay it off in my own time. But I also don't want you to stress about it. So he doesn't need to know. Not because he's controlling, not because he's ever made me feel small about it. In fact, he's very supportive. The shame is mine. I spent a lot of time wondering why. It's easy to say I have a spending problem, but lately I've started wondering if the spending isn't the problem at all. So this is has been over the last few years. Otherwise, I just kind of pushed it all down and handled it for the most part. So managed it for the most part. So whenever life feels uncertain, this is what I noticed. I spend. If my husband is weighing out major career decisions or about moving, whether that's jobs or houses, we've done that a little bit. He processes it methodically. He gathers information. He takes his time. A lot of time. And he asks me certain details, updates me on certain things. My brain is already preparing for every possible outcome. It is reeling. Nothing has happened, nothing may happen, but my nervous system doesn't seem to know the difference. So sometimes I wonder if my buying something gives me one small thing that feels certain, one decision that's mine, a little reminder that life is still moving forward. I don't know. I'm not. And again, I hope that doesn't sound like I'm blaming him. I'm actually realizing this stuff about my reaction to my husband starts I skipped a sentence, which is very important. There's some loneliness in here. And that's okay. You check it out and you don't dwell. So you investigate but don't dwell. So my husband starts work around 6 a.m. and then often doesn't finish until 9 at night. Now, obviously, there's little tiny breaks in there, but we can't have meaningful conversation at that point. Plus, he's in work mode still, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So he's the CEO of a company, and his job demands are a lot. Like, I can't even explain what he's building, where he's going, but he's living miracles every day. I will say that. Congrats, honey. You're doing a good job. I hope I tell you that enough. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of him. So, but the two things can be true at once. Like I don't resent him. I'm amazed by him. And I know that I feel like so pathetic, but like I know he's going to have time for me later. But he does make time. He makes time on the weekends. He stops and focuses. Yes, of course I want more time. I want more. I'm greedy. But I completely support the life that we've built while also admitting that sometimes I feel lonely inside of it. So that's all I'm saying. So I'm just trying to reveal my inner workings, I guess, and hope that this reaches someone that may be feeling the same way. And it's okay. Now, here's the part that I complain to my friends about and to him, because I'm like, you are a Grinch. You're a Grinch. So there's Christmas. And this one goes much deeper than presents. It's not just presents, but it is to him on the surface. It is. Why do we have to buy all these presents? Why are we forced to buy presents this time of year? He likes the family time. He likes the gathering around a meal, the sitting around the tree, not necessarily the amount of money you have to spend to be sitting around a tree. So when I was little, and I'll give you the reason why it means something to me, and he had this magic too. It's just that he's more financially focused. I'm more creatively focused. So and normally it's like a yin and a yang. It works great, but also here's a part where you have to really shift around to get it to fit. So when I was little, my mom wrapped our gifts in white tissue paper, and she put a green yarn around mine and a red yarn bow around my sisters. Like she bowed them, or she just tied and left tassels. But it was, however it was, we knew exactly whose presents were whose. Also, our stockings were magical. So a lot of it was just practical things: toothpaste, deodorant. I remember she gave us these cute little, from Avon. Do you remember Avon? These cute little bunny rabbit the ears were the handles, and then the bunny rabbit was like laying on its belly, like those lions that you see. But the ears came up so you could hook your hand around the ears, but it was like a fingernail brush. It was really cool. Oh, I thing. Okay. So things like that. And then there were popcorn balls, and then those chocolate oranges or chocolate apples that were flavored with a little bit of orange or some other hint of a fruity flavor. And they were pre-sliced, but it looked like an apple or an orange. It was really cool. And then I'm trying to think of what else. But anyway, it was so fun. My mom had us go through those while my stepfather was still sleeping. Like, it kind of held us over. So we always got to open our gifts, quote unquote. So she'd always have some wrapped things in the stocking. So it felt like we were unwrapping. And then she would let us open one gift. Now, I'm sure they discussed exactly which gift it was going to be. We saved the big gifts for when he woke up, but he didn't feel like getting up at 5 a.m. to have us do all this. So it really kept us busy until he finally got up, which he wouldn't make us wait long. He just was like, 5 a.m. no. 7, yes. So that kept us busy. My mom gave us snacks, stuff like that. So I love that. It felt very magic. And so I wanted to continue that magic with my kids. So when my kids were little, I just did red tissue paper. Red tissue paper for Justin, green tissue paper for Richie. And then, we did the whole hiding stuff in the Christmas tree, little treats and money and stuff like that. Stockings were filled the same way my mom did. And then years later, my boys asked about that and said they liked it. So those details really mattered and they remembered. And my husband has never been big on continuing this magic when the kids are adults. And we don't do it when they're not coming to the house for Christmas, but when they're coming to the house for Christmas, we're going to do something. I want to do something and I don't mind doing it. But that also means I don't want to burden his pocket, his wallet with this magic. So what do? I put it on my secret credit card. And so that's how the money just keeps circulating and it never gets paid down to zero. It gets paid down a lot, but then it goes back up and then it goes back down. And anyway, that's how that happens. So Christmas often found its way onto my card. And then there's the dogs. So if you know me, you know that dogs aren't just my pets. They are woven into who I am. And Rich has graciously shared his life with more dogs than he would have chosen because he knows that they mean a lot to me. Recently, he told me that when our youngest dog eventually passes, that she would probably be our last dog. I say probably because the hope is there. He definitely said definitely. But maybe we'll compromise, maybe we won't. But even that conversation reminded me of how closely our spending can become tied to the things that make us feel most like ourselves. Meaning, I don't know what I mean by that. I think that uncertainty, again, of that tends to make me want to spend. And also dogs are expensive. So there's that whole with the spending. But so I will say, so with the podcast, yoga and other shit with my friends, that the things that we have dug up has been great. And Rachael from that podcast was here visiting for a while. And she was like, hey, let me do this energy work with you. And so she set it all up and her dog came up with us and he was like, also, it was crazy. He was doing energy work as well. I swear. So I laid there. I did what she said, had my eyes closed. I fully relaxed. Oops. And I didn't get too descriptive in here, but what I said was, I don't know exactly what happened, but something I felt something. And maybe it was the energy work. Maybe it was just deep relaxation. Maybe it was the dog too. But I could feel where her hands were because she doesn't touch you. And whenever she did touch me, she said, I'm going to touch you here on your shoulders, on your head or whatever. But most of it was done hands off. She does Reiki as well. But maybe it was just having someone encourage me to see myself differently which is what she did. And she energetically dug out. I don't know. It was cool. I honestly don't know. But strangely, I am okay with not knowing. And what I know is that I left feeling lighter. She talked to me. Here it is. She talked to me about safety and how sometimes we spend money trying to create that feeling our nervous system is craving. And that idea stayed with me, that maybe this money is a safety thing. And we went through this a few times, and that shift happened in there somewhere, that lighter feeling. And then not long after that, I was able, it says here several $1,000s, but it wasn't several, it was several hundred, I will say that. But I paid off. I had two cards that I paid off, like little store, like what was it? American Eagle and either Old Navy or Gap. I'm not sure which one, but I had those two cards. I cut them up and paid them off shortly after that. And it felt so good. And I even paid down my secret card quite a bit. So that felt good. Now I lost I had been carrying, and I had been again fluctuating with all of these cards for years. Eventually, though, like I said, some old habits found their way back. Brains tend to follow similar paths. I don't know if you've heard that, but it is neural pathways that you get stuck in patterns, and you need to forge new pathways in your brain. And I believe that's what she was helping me do. And they're still there. I just kind of boop, boop, get off that path and get back into my normal pattern. And then I've got to make a new path. But because of the work that we did do, I think it helped me still be able to dig my way out. I've stopped asking myself, why do I keep spending? But every once in a while, I'm like, damn it, why do I keep doing this? Just because once I'm on a pathway and then I bop off, I'm like, what the hell? But now I'm trying to ask, like, what am I trying to feel? Is it safety? Is it comfort? Is it control? Is it connection? Is it a little bit of Christmas magic? Like, is that feeling, that Christmas magic feeling, is that what I'm looking for? So a reminder that I still exist outside of everyone else's needs. The more I think about it, the less I believe this is really a money story. It's more of a shame story, I believe. This is my latest thought process on this, so bear with me. So shame just happens to, my shame, by the way, my shame wears the clothes of debt and clothes, because I love clothes. So if you are having shame, it might look completely different. Like maybe yours hides in food or alcohol or a closet full of things you're never going to wear. I have some of those too. But maybe it could be not even about any of that. It could be like a messy house. Like you're ashamed you don't have people visit because your house is a mess. Or maybe it's avoiding the doctor because you're afraid you're going to get some bad news. And that could be all just up in your mind because, or you hate shots. That's a whole other thing. And that is, if you're an adult, it could be very shameful to be terrified of shots because everybody needs them and gets them. Let's not get on a whole vaccination thing. I'm talking about blood work. You need to get your blood taken, and they need to stick you with a sharp needle. So let's leave it at that. But maybe it's pretending. Our shame could be that we're exhausted and we're running on empty, but society tells you we can't sit still. So you're shamed that you feel like you need to sit still, but you're ashamed that would make you look lazy. Maybe it's working so much that you never have to sit quietly with yourself and deal with these things. It's shame is universal and its disguise is personal. So you're not alone, basically, is what I'm saying. What surprises me most is that my husband has rarely given me a reason to believe that I couldn't tell him about this. But I don't want to stress him out because he would probably sit there calmly and put his hand on top of mine and reassure me. But really, he'd be like, oh my God. And that is also a factor. But anyway, ashamed, let's stick with the shame. But so why didn't I tell him? I don't know. Well, I just told you maybe the stress. I don't don't want to cause him stress. So I'm ashamed of the fact that I might be contributing to his stress. But it doesn't always come from the people around us. And sometimes it comes from stories we quietly tell ourselves. I also don't know how people heal. Maybe it's therapy. Maybe it's a trusted friend. Maybe it's yoga, prayer, writing. It's a long walk, maybe simply hearing someone ask the question that helps you see yourself, which is how mine started with Rachael and her doing the energy work on me. But I don't think that there's a right or wrong path. We each have to figure that out, what is succeeding and what is not in our healing. So you just have to kind of experiment in where you feel you're improving on these things. The moment that I stopped asking what's wrong with me alone, I'll say, because sometimes I still ask that, but what am I trying to protect, is what I started asking myself, and something shifted. I'm still paying off my secret debt, but I don't think the heaviest thing that I've been carrying was ever the balance on my credit card. It was the belief that I had to carry it alone. So sharing, maybe I didn't share it with my husband, but I shared it with my friends. So I am saying that for me, this, when she was doing the Reiki and the energy work with me, and I think the questions that she asked me and the thoughts, the thoughtfulness and the perspective that she gave me helped send me in the right direction. And then I opened up with a couple of other friends and kind of talked through some ideas, and then figured out that I don't have to be as ashamed as I am, and that I am not alone, and that I'm improving. So there, you can try it. So I know a lot of people that are very involved in their church, and there are people there that they can really talk to about these things. Again, friends are great if you have friends that provide you a safe space to talk about this thing, and without judgment, because that's going to make it worse. But maybe you are one of those people who love to hear and can heal with somebody saying, well, what the hell were you thinking? Sometimes that's good, but a lot of times you need a little more support than that. But anyway, that is my story, and I am trudging through. Recently, after I wrote that, I had a huge payment that I made on my secret credit card. So things are looking up for me. But I'm committed. I'm on a spending hiatus. I actually bought something and decided, no, I'm going to wait until I get to a certain milestone before I rethink it. I'm not even going to definitely buy it at that point. I'm going to rethink it. Can I wait longer? Can I wait until I completely pay this last bit of debt off, or do I need it sooner, or do I need it at all? Is this just a luxury? Which it totally is a luxury. But yeah, I think what I might do is stash away a couple bucks at a time. And cash, I have a few cash people that I will stash away and see if I can't do it that way and pay cash for this luxury item that I want. But anyway, there's that. I hope that you have somewhere to go if you are having any of this, the loneliness, the shame, or the debt, that there are people you can talk to. It's not the end of the world, and we have this beautiful world to live in. And let's all just be grateful for that. I really hope that these talks, these blogs help you, or just resonate, or make you smile or something. And I hope you stick around and listen to more and watch more, because I do enjoy talking into this microphone and camera and hashing out all my thoughts, writing, and then reading back my own thoughts reinforces it somehow. So I am secretly also benefiting from this. So I apologize. I'm being selfish. But I hope it can help you, and I don't know, did I talk about any resources. I don't think I did, but I can send you. I know what I'll do. I'll put my friend Rachel. She has Instagram. I'll put her Instagram profile on here. What am I looking for? Her bio? No, her Instagram, whatever it's called, name. I'll say that. I'll put it down here in the show notes. You can go. She has these great talks that she does right on Instagram that you can watch and relate to and pull from. Really inspiring stuff. And I think you'll enjoy it. So check her out and come back here and listen to my next. I don't know when that will be, but have a good one.